Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I think this is the page number 5 is what I'm calling. We keep turning the pages until this card is finished. But today I'm going to work on my breather back here at the back. I've got the engine is mounted here pretty much where it's going to go. I can move this engine up about 2 inches forward and back to tension the chain and all that fun stuff. But anyway, what I'm going to work on today is the breather. And looking at the couple of videos before this, I showed you that I had modified the original breather housing here to be able to, I just opened this up on the top where we could get air in here, and I made this flat piece right here, this metal bracket, and it bolts on and off. And this is just to keep the dust and dirt out right now. But anyway, this bolts on and off, so I can take this on when I want to, remove it. But the reason I wanted to keep this original housing is for my vent tube is still in its original place. My throttle and my gas shutoff is still in its original place. And I really like that. So nothing has changed here. And instead of having a huge breather up here, it just, some of these breathers I've looked at are really big. They're like 4 inches long, 5 inches long, and 4 inches in diameter. But anyway, I didn't think I needed all that. And if I do, I'll find that out later because I've got a cool looking breather that I'm going to be adding to this. But what I'm going to do on mine here is I'm going to take, I purchased this off of Amazon. This is a couple of pieces of tubing that I was able to get. These are just 90-degree bends, and this one's been cut off, and I made this sleeve right here. And a lot of times if I'm TIG welding something on exhaust system or anything like that, I'll just weld all these up, do a butt weld, and then polish it and grind it down. It looks good. But anyway, I'm taking the sleeve that I cut off of this, and I just slid it over there to hold this in place. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a tack on each corner of the sleeve and then weld that seam up, which is only about 1/4 inch long, and I don't have to worry about distorting this thin wall tubing. This is probably 058. But it is 304 stainless, which I do like that. And it's 1 1/4 inch. Again, I think I paid about $8 for both pieces on Amazon. I'll try to give a description on that or give you information on that and all the details in the description. This is just a zinc collar that I purchased at Lowe's, and because the breather is 1.5 inch diameter, so I needed to expand this a little bit past 1 1/4 inch to be able to hold the breather on really tight and secure. So you can see where I'm going with this right here. My breather, I've got a tailpiece. It's going to go back here, but this is going to go in here something like that. And it's going to be able to give me a lot of air intake. A long breather tube works really well and should do really great. And this is going to be exposed and surrounded, or it's going to stick out a little bit of my tail section here. And I'm not for sure how tall that it will be. I can cut this off. All I need is about 1/2 inch to be able to, to secure my breather and to be able to fasten that on. So that ought to work really good. But anyway, what I'm going to do today, I'm going to weld these up. I'm going to add a couple of spot welds right here. Then I'll take this off, turn it upside down, and I'll weld it from underneath, and that'll look really good. And then that'll give me a breather, the way I want it to look. It's going to look cool. It's out of the way, and I think it's going to work really good. So let me show you again. 058, 304 stainless, thin wall tubing. It looks really good. And let me show you the little breather that I've got here. Now, I think this is going to work fine. It's almost the same size as the original breather. And we're adding the long tube, which ought to help a little bit and let this thing breathe. Plus, it's a better filter than what the original is. It looks like a little K&N. Again, this is an Amazon product, and I'll put this in the description. That, to me, is a cool-looking little breather. It's oval, looks really sharp. It's a 1.5 inch inlet right here. It came with a band, stainless steel band clamp. And this is aluminum. This is really sharp. All this is aluminum. And it's going to sit like this right here. I think it looks really cool. It all look good and add a lot of character to the Cyclekart here. So this is what I'm going to do today. If you're interested in this, stick around. I hope so. And you can leave a comment. We're getting a lot of comments on the other videos, and I really appreciate that. I answer most of those, or I think I've answered every one of them that I can. So anyway, I'm going to get everything set up. We'll tack weld these pieces in, and we'll see what this looks like. And I'm having a little difficulty with my DJI, my controller. My little Steadicam broke, so I'm actually taped my phone to that Steadicam to keep it from moving, trying to shoot the video. So bear with me. I hope this works out okay. And anyway, let me get my welder hooked up, and we'll start doing a little bit of welding to see if we can see that, and then we'll see what this is going to look like and see what it turns out like. stick around and let's get going to the next step. Thanks. Okay, got everything set up. I think I can do this from right here. I hope you can see this. Again, I'm having a hard time with my phone mount and making that work, so I had to just scoot it in to get you be able to see a close-up of this. So I hope you can. Again, I'm just going to put a tack weld here, 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 here on all four corners, and then weld that little bitty seam where this has been butt jointed up next to this, and that should hold everything in place. And so let me see if I can get a tack weld on this without moving it or knocking it out of the way. And let's see if that'll work out for us. There's one, two, three, four, 5, and 6. And again, that should be plenty to hold this in place. We don't have to go too far overboard. It's not going to move. As you can see that right there. And that's going to be upside down, so the rest of it looks really good. That's going to go in there. Now, really all I have to do is get all this lined up. Again, I'll clean all that up. That's going to work out fine for me. It's not going to move. It's airtight. These are welded where the seam is completely sealed up. And this is really a tight-fitting band on here, so I think that's going to work out great. So all I got to do now is I've got everything's already set up. I'm going to set this in place. It's going to take me a few minutes to get it leveled out and to make this work out. And what I've done here, let me sneak around. Let me see. I've got a stick over there I'm going to lay right here, and that'll give me my center line on my chassis here where I can make this look really good. Hold on. Again, this might be the quickest video I'll ever do here. I've got a couple of marks here where I can keep this on track. I know just about where it's going to go, but I still want this to look really good. I want it to be nice and level. And that should work just about right there. I'm looking at my down tubes right here to get that lined up, so that should do good. And then I've got a line marked here in the center. All I have to do now is just put this in place. I can move this down in here. Now this is already secure here. So now all I have to do is get this in here. Take a look at it. Let me see. There we go. Now it's inside there. Now it'll stand up like it's supposed to without me worrying about it. And I can see that it looks good. It's in the center of the chassis. Let me get a side shot of it right here. That looks real good. And again, I'm looking at my board right here to get this level to make this work. And I think it's going to work out good. Now, really all I got to do is put a tack right here and to hold it in place, and I'll be able to mount the breather and show you what it looks like. All right, let me see. I want this to be really straight. That looks pretty darn good right there. Looking down on it, looks good. Let me go around to the front, take a peek at it. I can kind of tell by looking at the chassis if it's in the center. Oh, that looks real good. Looks real good. Now, I'm just going to put a tack right here to hold everything in place. Probably ought to put my helmet on, you think? Here we go. Let me get a tack on this, on the side. That way I'm not moving it. That won't work. I better put the clamp because we're not fastening anything. I almost messed up. Let me get my ground strap over here. Let me find a good place to put that so I don't move anything. That should work right there. All right, now it'll work. Now I think we can weld it. Okay, let me get a spot weld on this right here. There's one. There's another one. There we go. Look at that. Not too bad. I'm going to put another one down in. What I'm doing, I'm actually going down inside that groove and filling that in. And then when I get ready to finish welding it completely, I'm going to take it off. Again, this is plastic. I don't want to overheat it. And but that's it. That's going to hold. That'll work really good right there. It's already secure. Now let me take this off. Let me get my helmet off. You still with me? Hang on. We'll have something pretty cool to look at in a minute. I think it looks cool anyway. For me, I love it. And again, I might end up cutting some of this off right here. I only need about a 1/2 inch to secure the breather. The air filter itself, about a 1/2 inch would work fine. So anyway, that'll go on here. Again, it's pretty snug. And there you have it. And like I say, when my deck lid comes down this way, this is going to come down through here. This is going to stick up. And again, I'll probably end up cutting this. It'll be down in here somewhere, but I can't do that until I get my deck lid finished. But that's my breather. That's the idea of today's video. Again, I think the little breather is going to give me all the air intake that I need. I'll figure out how to do the jets and everything to make this motor and the carburetor work really well. You know, I want to make sure that I get that done. So, but that's the breather for today. I hope you liked the video. Comment on it if you like, and check out the description, and I'll have a link in there to be able to tell you where these little parts come from. Very inexpensive. Right now, I made this, so I got a couple of bucks in time in this. All I did is modify the original air filter intake. About $8. And actually, I think it was maybe $9 for these 2 pieces of tube. And this was about $2 for this zinc part right here, just a threaded fitting that fit down on there really tight. And I had to grind a little bit of the threads out of there to make that slip down on there. But I will weld this on here, or I'll put a set screw in it, probably just weld it up tight. We don't have to worry about that sucking air up under here. So I'll probably do that. And the breather, I think it might have been $12, $13. I may have contradicted my last comment on the price, but I'll double check that. But I got 2 of them for that price, so you know I can keep this one cleaned. Probably last me quite a while, clean it out, and if anything gets damaged or anything, I can just replace it and do another one. So anyway, there it is. There's my breather, and that's what it looks like. Let me take a look at it because I can't tell without looking through the camera myself. So let's see. Oh, I think that's cool. Let me move this around, give you a couple of other shots of it. That's cool. Gonna work out really good. I think it looks pretty sharp. Forgive me for the camera work here today. I'm doing my best. But you can see how that works. Let me get this down in here. There we go. And again, I'll weld that completely closed, and that'll look really good. I may grind it down a little bit, but it should look okay just by spot welding it all the way around that. And there it is. A little breather. Pretty cool. All in the center of the chassis. Looks really good. And I can take that on and off, clean it. I can take the whole assembly off and check it down in there, make sure that we're not getting any dirt down in there, and everything looks really good. So anyway, there it is. There you have it. Let me get my camera set back up and get going from there. And we're gonna do a little bit of work when I get I'm gonna buy me a new Steadicam, and I'll get that hooked up and be able to shoot the next video in about a week. And there you have it. Brand new breather, already set up. Looks pretty cool, very stable. I could run a support from my return spring here, and I may do that. Run a bracket over here just to keep this from moving, but this is so strong, and this is bolted on right here. I don't think it's going to be necessary at all. I think it's going to work great. Again, this is pretty heavy. This is, I think this is probably 11 gauge plate that I built this out of. There'll be a gasket under there to keep air from coming in through here. That ought to work out really good. And again, I'll adjust the height and tighten this up as we go. So there you have it. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Pretty quick one today, and come back and see us next time. Comment if you like. I love to get the comments and see what you're thinking about it. And I've got to keep welding all these seams up until I get it completely seal welded and then ground back down. Then we're going to metal prep it and make this chassis look pretty good. And I've got some parts coming Sunday, I believe. I've got a brand new Comet clutch coming, and some other parts that I'm going to be adding to this to make sure everything's going to fit. We've got everything working like it should. So thanks for watching, and have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.